Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a brand new video. So it feels like it has been forever since I actually did kind of like a vlog style video, so much so that I feel as though this video is just going to end up being full of updates between hospital appointments, all of kind of Killian's baby appointments, generally navigating having a newborn in the house, and then also house projects. I haven't really had a lot of time to film aside from the actual house project side of things, so I'm hoping by now you would have seen our little kitchen renovation video. So that has taken up an awful lot of our time over the last few weeks. There's a lot that you guys have missed. There's so much I need to catch you up on. Killian is now no longer technically a newborn. He is just over 9 weeks old. He's growing far too fast, and he actually had his immunisations today, bless him. So time has just flown. Avery has been quite poorly. She has had staph, and it's the first time she's ever had staph. It's also the first time in a long time that she's actually had a bacterial infection. Most of the time it's just viral, so the last few weeks have been kind of tough in terms of that. Bless her, she's not been very well at all. I'm hoping that maybe she's over the peak now, fingers crossed, but bless her, she's been quite poorly. However, she also had a big haircut. She had a lot of hair chopped off, a good few inches, and as much as it broke mine and Josh's heart and we really hated that we had to do it, it was definitely worth it because I can now get a brush through her hair without upsetting her. It was getting to the point where her hair was just so long that I would brush one section and then what I just brushed was getting knotty, it was pulling on her head, it was hurting her, and it wasn't fun. So we decided to just cut her hair and make it a lot easier. So it is a lot easier to brush through now, a lot easier to sort out in the mornings, and it doesn't hurt her. So it was definitely necessary, but very, very bittersweet because her hair is quite short now. It's probably about the same length as mine. She's beautiful either way, but that is another update. We have been in touch with all of Avery's new team here where we live now, and there's so many services that weren't available to us before, and it's been really helpful, especially while she's been poorly. The last 3 days straight we've actually had the chest physio out to kind of do a chest physio session with Avery and take swabs and stuff, and the kind of like the thing they focus on in the community here for complex medical children like Avery is keeping them out of hospital, which we really like because hospitals are breeding grounds for more infections. The last time Avery was admitted to hospital, she ended up catching a sick bug while she was there and then had to be readmitted for dehydration. So we are all for keeping Avery out of hospital if we can. Obviously there's still things that we would definitely take her in for, big seizures for example, low sats that we couldn't get back up, but in terms of chest physio and like sort of testing her secretions, things like that, they try and do as much of that at home as possible, which we've really appreciated. Avery has been accepted into our local children's hospice, so I'm really excited to go and have a look around there. From what I know of it so far, it reminds me an awful lot of Little Harbour. So I'm really excited for that. We are still working on schools for Avery. She was offered a place in a school. There are actually 3 schools that are kind of options for Avery. She was offered one, however this one we've been told by multiple professionals that it's quite cold, it's quite damp, and it's quite out of the way. It's like 11 miles from here, and we just thought by the time Avery gets there, especially in city traffic, she's just going to be miserable. So we have actually declined that offer, and we're hoping for one of the other 2. Also, we have finally been in touch with the continence team, which means Avery now has nappies that fit her. So these are Avery's new nappies that we got from the continence team. These are the Tenor Pro Skin Slip. They do have tabs, so they go on like normal nappies, which is what we wanted because pull-ups just don't work very well for you, do they, Pudding? She's just finished her feed. We're about to get her dressed for the day, aren't we? They are quite large. What I will say is we had a little bit of a battle with the continence team because they only send 4 of these a day. Now obviously we normally change Avery's nappy a lot more than that, just to keep her skin clean and keep her feeling fresh. And we thought, guys, we were back and forth with them for so long, ultimately we couldn't change anything. But what they're trying to suggest is she should be filling these with 700 ml of urine before we change them, and that's an absolute no for us. That's nearly 1 kilogram of liquid. That would be so heavy on her. By the time it was that full, she would smell really bad, and it's just not fair. But we have found them online and we can buy them for about £12 a pack. So they send us a 3-month supply, and then for us to kind of increase the amount we put on her in a day, we just buy more packs ourselves, which is absolutely fine, isn't it, Pudding? But I do like them. They're a decent size, they hold quite a bit really well, and you don't leak through them, do you, Pudding? Is that yours? Is that yours? Gorgeous girl. She is still on the mend, she's still a bit poorly. We've been having the chest physio come out the last few days, but I think you are on the mend now, aren't you, baby girl? I hope she is, because we actually were supposed to have plans this weekend, weren't we, Pudding? So we are going to be going to family's house tomorrow evening to celebrate bonfire night. Bonfire night was just a few days ago, and with it being the weekend, we're going to be celebrating. So it'll be me and all of our siblings, hopefully Avery too, if she's feeling well enough. We also celebrated Halloween recently too, and what we did was a family movie night. And I made loads of snacks that were Halloween themed. It was really fun, the boys really enjoyed it, and we had Marley too, which was really nice, wasn't it? For our bonfire night celebrations, we've all decided to bring a little bit of food, and we all bring in some fireworks as well, just to kind of split the cost between us all. And I'm going to be making some filled bread rolls and also a pasta dish, but something that I've been doing over the last couple of months actually is making my own bread. I have not bought a loaf of bread in weeks, and I have found a recipe that gives us a decent sandwich loaf. It took me a while. We probably had a few loaves that we could have done some serious damage with, but we got there in the end. We really enjoy it, and it's a labour of love for me. I really enjoy it. I enjoy making homemade bread, but while I'm making the bread, I also make burger buns. I will make my own garlic bread. I can mould it into a lot of different shapes. It's a really good recipe. I will leave it linked down below. I can't remember where I got it from now. It's definitely somewhere online, but it's really easy to make, and it doesn't actually take much time to do, because a lot of the time is kind of leaving it to rest. But yeah, so I've been making my own bread, so I'm going to be making bread rolls today to fill and take with us tomorrow. So tomorrow evening should hopefully be fun. I'm really hoping that Avery will get to come with us too. Good morning. So I've got a few house updates to share with you guys. I think I mentioned in one of my previous vlogs that my brother was going to be coming into the house to do a bit of joinery / carpentry work, and you would have seen the boiler cabinet in my kitchen reno, or if you haven't yet, then you will see it in the next video. But there is a couple of other projects he did for us as well. So he has actually done the built-in behind our sofa as well. Obviously this will look so much better once it's all painted, and it will blend in with the wall colour. I love it. I love how thick the shelves are, and what is actually behind the sofa, apart from things that Josh keeps randomly putting on there, but this is actually a cabinet. So there is a little hole just here so that we can lift the lid on this cabinet, and what we've actually managed to put in there is Avery's massive bag for her sleep system, which is huge. It takes up so much space. Spare blankets, and also our big double airbed. So it's come in really useful, and it just makes use of the space behind the sofa, which otherwise would have been wasted. I do need to get some nice decorations to go on these shelves, because the space in between them is quite it's quite tall, so I can get away with some taller decorations. So I'm looking forward to doing that, but that will be a job when I actually move on to the living room. I have also added new photos to our wall. So these frames are from Denelm. They are the 50 by 50. And I think the actual photo size is 10 by 10 inch. I just chose some pictures that I really loved, and then I used Lightroom to edit the colours so that they all kind of looked similar. So we've got a picture from Disney World. This was when we were in Epcot. I love this picture. The photographer actually told us to do this, but it was so funny. A little picture of Avery I took when I did a little photo shoot. This was actually when she sneezed out her NG tube, so I took the opportunity to get some nice pictures of her gorgeous face. This is not long after Josh and I first met. I think we took the boys to Paynton Zoo, but look how tiny they all are. They are so small. I can't believe how much they've grown since then. And then this one is obviously the newest picture. I actually took this one of Josh and Killian in the hospital, but I just really love the way this looks, so I had to include this on this little gallery wall. But I think this just looks really nice above the sideboard. That is Avery's old lamp. I'm keeping that down here now because we don't tend to use a lamp in Avery's room anymore. She tends to use her projector lights. I do need a new lampshade for it though, so that is on the to-do list. And then moving on up into Avery's room. For starters, the garish wallpaper is gone, but my brother has built this storage for Avery's room and I'm so pleased with it. So if you remember from my house tour, we had like a bulkhead here, and the ceilings in this house are quite tall, so it was quite a lot of wasted space. So he has built this big unit. On this side there are just shelves. Once again, this will all look so much better once it's painted. This will be painted white. But the boxes just hold random stuff. I've got donations in a box. I've got all of Killian's baby clothes in a box. I think there's some baby wipes in one of them. There's actually Christmas presents we're storing in one of them as well. But there's actually space behind these boxes as well for more kind of storage. I couldn't find boxes to fit the full size of these shelves because the shelves are quite deep as well. And then on this side is Avery's wardrobe. My brother also managed to get 3 shelves in this wardrobe too, since it is quite tall, and it's the perfect space to put all of Avery's nappies. So these are the nappies, the Pro Skin Slip, and yeah, they sent us 12 weeks in one go, so that was quite a lot of nappies, but the wardrobe fits them all perfectly. They're nice and tucked away. And then we have somewhere to hang her clothes too, which is really nice. This is the handle I'll be popping on this wardrobe as well. I think I got that from Shein, either Shein or Temu, one or the other. But I will pop that on the wardrobe, and then I will be painting it all white. We could have had less shelves and an extra rail in the wardrobe, but what we're trying to factor in is hopefully the plan is eventually Avery will have a downstairs extension. I don't know how long it's going to take, guys. A little bit of an update on that. We've been told we're looking at 2 years just for an assessment, and then potentially another 2 years on top of that for any work to begin. So we're trying to push on that. We've got all of Avery's professionals sending referrals in left, right and centre to Children's OT to try and push her up the waiting list. It's really frustrating, but it is what it is. But we need to factor in that eventually this room will not be Avery's, so I decided to just have the one rail so that there's room for larger clothes. The likelihood is it will either be Zach or Killian in this room. We're not 100% sure yet. Obviously kids might change their mind when they're a bit older. Zach and Eli both might say that they don't particularly want to share a room with their younger brother because he will likely have an earlier bedtime. By this point Zach will be a teenager, which is a scary thought. So Zach and Eli might decide to keep the room together and have Killian in a separate room, or Zach may decide that he wants his own space. And with him being autistic, we just think that if we're gonna offer the room to one of the older boys, then Zach should get the first refusal because he will need his own space the most out of all of them. But yeah, long story short, that is why I've decided to just keep the one rail and have more space in the wardrobe vertically. But yeah, so my brother did all of that for us. He also refitted some of our doors because the house is a bit wonky. The floors kind of go like this, not to that extreme, but you notice it with the doors. So if you cut them straight, when you open them, you can't actually open them all the way because of the floors being wonky. So my brother sorted all of our doors out. Some of them were a bit weird on the hinges, so he sorted that out for us too. It really comes in handy having tradespeople as family members. I can't thank my brother enough for doing all of this for us. He spent an entire week here too, but he does do this for a living and he's done a damn good job. So I'm really, really, really pleased. Anyway, essentially this video has just been full of updates, but I feel as though I've not filmed in so long, and if I left it any longer then I just wouldn't remember to fill you in on everything, and I wanted to make sure I keep you up to date. So that is where I'm going to leave this video. I hope you enjoyed hearing about life at the moment. Life is good, we're settling in. Obviously there's still a lot of kinks to work out, but we knew that would be the case. We knew that was the risk when we moved here, and we always said we need to give it some time. Hopefully it won't be too much longer until we hear about schools. Obviously we're always going to fight to make sure Avery gets the best. So that is where I'm going to leave you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.